The M.I.A season of Rust Valley Restorers presents a fascinating study of restoration culture, human ingenuity, and the suspense inherent in pursuing rare and forgotten vehicles, unfolding as a layered narrative that intertwines technical mastery, interpersonal dynamics, and episodic mystery. And from the very beginning, it is evident that the series is as much about character psychology and strategic problem solving as it is about bringing rusted machines back to life. Because the show immerses the viewer in an environment where each vehicle is a puzzle and each interaction within the yard is a study in trust, collaboration, and the subtle negotiation of authority and expertise. And one of the most compelling aspects of this season is the way the narrative tension is built through the interplay of familiar routines and unexpected challenges, as the crew navigates not only the physical restoration of vehicles, but also a series of cryptic warnings, unexplained intrusions, and escalating threats, which transform the shop from a place of controlled chaos into a stage for high-stakes strategy, observation, and adaptive problem-solving. And the series does not shy away from showing the meticulous attention to detail that is required in this line of work. From cataloging old parts and checking chassis numbers to diagnosing hidden structural weaknesses and recreating historical authenticity, thereby educating the audience while maintaining a gripping, cinematic tension. And one of the season's most memorable elements is the way the camera work, sound design, and pacing work together to create suspense without relying on manufactured drama, allowing viewers to feel the anxiety and anticipation that the crew experiences when confronted with mysterious envelopes, unexplained surveillance, or the appearance of unfamiliar vehicles at the yard's perimeter. And these sequences are enhanced by close-up shots of hands manipulating tools, subtle glances exchanged between team members, and the rhythmic sounds of machinery, all of which contribute to an immersive sense of presence and immediacy, making the audience feel as if they are observing both the restoration process and the unfolding investigation simultaneously. And the interplay of these narrative threads allows the show to explore deeper themes such as loyalty, resilience, and ingenuity, particularly in scenes where Mike is confronted with challenges that test both his technical expertise and leadership, forcing him to make decisions under pressure, assess risk, and rely on the collective intelligence of his crew. And the tension generated by these external threats is heightened by the careful juxtaposition of moments of levity, camaraderie, and human connection, including lighthearted banter, shared meals, and the mutual pride in completed restorations, which not only humanizes the characters, but also reinforces the stakes by highlighting what they have to protect, both materially and emotionally. And a recurring motif throughout the season is the interplay between past and present, as the intrusions often reference historical trades, missing vehicles, or forgotten auctions, compelling Mike and his team to engage in investigative restoration, reconstructing histories that are as much about human behavior and past mistakes as they are about vehicles themselves. And the process of uncovering these past events is depicted with careful attention to procedural detail, as files are cross-referenced, auction ledgers are analyzed, and photographic evidence is scrutinized for clues, emphasizing that expertise in this environment extends beyond mechanical skill into strategic thinking, research, and deduction. And the show draws attention to the idea that restoration is a dialogue with history, where every choice matters and even small oversights can have consequences, which adds a philosophical dimension to what might otherwise be considered purely technical work. And this season also excels in exploring the interpersonal dynamics of the team, where humor, respect, and shared experience serve as counterweights to the tension created by external threats. And the nuanced performances of the cast demonstrate how leadership, mentorship, and collaborative problem-solving coexist in a high-pressure environment, because Mike must simultaneously manage the tasks at hand while guiding and motivating his crew, responding to uncertainty with calm authority, and negotiating moments of disagreement or hesitation with empathy and decisiveness, all of which create a compelling portrait of effective team dynamics in a specialized and emotionally charged field. And the cinematography reinforces these themes by framing characters within their environment, showing the scale of the yard, the spatial relationships between vehicles, and the ways in which shadows, light, and perspective can amplify both suspense and drama, particularly during sequences where the crew is working late at night, responding to mysterious disturbances, or investigating the presence of unknown observers. And the editing emphasizes pacing in a way that balances narrative tension with procedural clarity, allowing viewers to follow technical processes while feeling the stakes in real time. And the integration of investigative sequences with restoration tasks creates a layered viewing experience, one in which every scene carries multiple levels of significance, from the immediate physical challenge of a repair to the larger narrative of security, discovery, and legacy. And this structure allows the season to operate on several levels, appealing both to enthusiasts of automotive culture and to viewers drawn to suspense and problem solving, because the show constantly reminds the audience that the process of restoration is never merely mechanical, but inherently relational, historical, and strategic. And several sequences in which Mike deciphers cryptic messages or traces the provenance of vehicles exemplify the hybrid nature of the show, merging detective work with practical craftsmanship. And these sequences are particularly effective because they are grounded in realism, depicting authentic investigative methods and reasoning rather than relying on contrived plot devices, which lends the series credibility and reinforces the viewer's engagement. And personal commentary suggests that the season succeeds in making the audience emotionally invested not only in the vehicles, but also in the human stories intertwined with them, because the challenges, triumphs, and vulnerabilities of the team resonate beyond the screen, highlighting universal themes of perseverance, problem-solving, and the restoration of neglected or forgotten value, whether material or relational. And in comparative terms, like M.I.A. differentiates itself from traditional automotive shows by combining elements of suspense, mystery, and serialized narrative, creating a hybrid form that educates, entertains, and emotionally engages, while also exploring the stakes of expertise, leadership, and historical awareness. And one of the most striking aspects is the series' attention to process, emphasizing that mastery requires time, precision, and deliberate care, and that the human element, the choices, judgment, and teamwork of the crew is inseparable from the quality of the restoration or the outcome of the investigations. And by this season's climax, the interwoven narrative threads coalesce, demonstrating how preparation, skill, observation, and loyalty converge to overcome the threats, whether mechanical, historical, or personal. And this resolution is satisfying not only because of the tangible successes of restoration, but because it affirms the resilience, adaptability, and cohesion of the human team. And the show leaves the audience with a sense of closure that is both narrative and emotional, while maintaining the underlying message that Rust Valley itself is a living, evolving space where history, craftsmanship, and human endeavor intersect in profound and often surprising ways. And this season reinforces the notion that restoration is ultimately about connection, understanding, and preserving value, whether that value is a vehicle, a story, or a human bond, which makes M.I.A. a compelling, multifaceted, and highly engaging season that transcends conventional genre limitations and leaves a lasting impression on its audience.